Following this little introduction is basically a 30-minute masterclass on how to effectively run your art show at an art fair. And this comes from my Facebook group, a private Facebook group for selling art. If you don't know me, my website is jasonmatias.com. It's right there as well. And you can find me on Instagram at RealJasonMatias, and I sell art for a living. And I make a pretty big chunk of change of my yearly salary from selling fine art pieces, like the two behind me in my messy loft. So that's what this video is about, and that's what my other videos following this are going to be about. And the private Facebook group is available. Right now it's in beta. This is May 2018, so if you're looking at it in May 2018, then the group is still closed and private and in beta, and we're forming and trying to figure out what it is you actually want to pull out of my head and how I can deliver it the best that I can. And then it will open up, and I'll share how to join it there. But for now, this is pretty awesome info, and people really enjoyed it, and they thought that it was useful. So check it out, and cheers. I wish you the best this summer season selling your art. Hey guys, what's going on? What I have here is about a 30-minute kind of class on how I did art fairs, how to art fair. These are some of the things I talked about: setting up the booth, creating or curating your work, what materials or items you need, such as business cards and a guest book, selling your old stuff, aka your B-roll of prints. There's a few tips here and there, kind of buried in story time, and then I talked a little bit about what sells and what doesn't in terms of color. Okay, so check that out. It's kind of long. Think of it as a class more than a short 2-minute video, so you're gonna have to pay attention a little bit. Take some notes, apply what you can, and let me know how it goes. Thanks. All right, so funny story. I just did this whole presentation, looked at the video, and it was blurry. So here we go again. Okay guys, you are going to do an art fair this summer. Okay, I know a few of you are going to do it in the next few days. And I want to tell you how I do art fairs, give you some of my do's and don'ts, and share some of my insights with you. This video will probably run 10, well no, the last one was 16, so probably run 16, 20, 25 minutes long. Consider it like a mini workshop masterclass. If you're not doing an art festival this year, then feel free to ignore it. This is a beta group though, so if you could watch it and give me a little bit of feedback, that'd be pretty cool. Tap like, and there's still 4 spots open for the beta. Okay, so you're doing an art fair, you're showing your work, right? Chances are you guys, the ones who I know are doing it, it's your first time. So you're gonna have a 10-foot booth, okay? Right, so this is 10, and then this is 10, and then you're gonna take your artwork and you're going to fill it up. Okay, I am telling you right now that this is wrong, okay? And if you don't believe me, take my advice anyway, but then walk around your art festival and look at all the other booths and compare. This is like stepping into someone's Flickr page and being like, I'm here in real life, what do I do? There's just too much stuff, okay? You guys have A-roll, you have A-roll work, B-roll work, C-roll work, I'm talking about how good your pieces are, and you need to only show your best work because you have limited space. And it's more likely you're only going to sell your good work. So don't distract potential clients, potential collectors with your B-roll. Okay, so I'm going to erase this. Okay. Fun fact number 2, I was going to record this on my iPhone live, but I smashed my iPhone camera today, and I was going to use my iPad to show you this picture, but now I have to show you on my phone. But it works out. So here is my booth. Let's click there. Okay, so this is my last booth at Redmond ArtFair. Okay, and notice a few things in it. First of all, it's not cluttered. Okay, the ice cave there is 60 inches, and let's see if I can make this a little brighter. And I have these big walls, which you probably don't have right now, and carpet on the bottom, and then it's open so that people can walk in and enjoy the space. That's really, really important. You want your artwork to have space because your artwork will have space in people's homes, and they have to be able to envision it. Okay? So take note of the sun piece too, because we're going to talk about that in a moment as well. Okay. So you just want to feature your best work, and if you think of it as products, you want to feature your most likely to sell product. So take your biggest work and then you put it right there, nice and large. Okay, centerpiece. This is the piece that's going to attract people when they're walking by, because for not to sound negative, but everyone thinks they're a photographer, and some of those people who think they're photographers think they can sell their work, and all of those people who think they can sell their work are going to be at your art fair. So you need to have work that stands out, and you need to have a booth that's inviting. So you're going to have your one piece here, and maybe you'll have some portrait size pieces or portrait orientation, and then you'll have another longer piece, maybe a taller piece. However you're going to do it. I mean, and you can put 2 pieces of work here, I suppose, but you're really starting to crowd your main display wall. All right? You have to self-curate. Okay, that's really important. You need to be able to look at your own work and think about it objectively. This is not going to sell. This is going to sell. This is great. I love it. I absolutely have to show it to people, and we can talk about it. Okay? That's the work that goes in. Everything else, no. Right? Maybe over here on the side you'll have a table. Okay? Notice how I didn't draw one of those 6-foot tables that take up your space, because you need to have people feel like they can walk into your space. So you probably want like a 4-foot table or a mini table like this size. I don't know if you can see that. Or this one right here, it's only 4 feet, and it's narrow, and it lets you have enough space where people can come into your booth. They have to come in, and they have to be able to talk to you. So with that in mind, anything that you put in your booth below this line, or really even kind of below this line, is not going to sell. People are not going to see it. They're at this. People come to art festivals to have fun, not to buy art. So you have to make the best chance possible to sell the pieces you want to sell. So anything that's below the height of your table, no one's even going to notice it. Don't put work down there, because it'll just cause clutter and it'll distract people's attention. They may not even walk into your booth. Okay, nothing below this line. I've seen it. Don't do it. Some of you were posting in the group about you have old pieces that you want to sell, and you want to get rid of them. You have to move them. I just thought of this when I was doing the video the last time, and here's a good strategy for selling, because you couldn't sell it before, you're not going to sell it now just because you're showing it. And what I suggest is having a cache, with me, of all your old pieces kind of on the floor down here, out of the distraction zone, okay, but within reach. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to have a client come in, potential customer, and they're going to really like this piece, okay? Hey, Jason, that piece is great. Oh, it's $500. I don't know. What do I do? And then you have the opportunity to be like, this is one of my favorite photographs, and I think I have a piece that really goes with it. They complement each other. They make a room great together, or they add cohesiveness to your house, maybe in your living room and then in your kitchen or dining room. Here, let me show it to you. And you pull it out, and then you tell them, hey, if you buy this piece, I'll give you this other piece as a gift. Not for free, as a gift. So they can collect the two together, and you're using your old cash to sell your new cash. Okay? This is probably your best bet on moving those pieces. I have pieces that I can't sell. Okay? I have a tree right there. Let me grab it. I have not been able to sell this piece. This one. From the Olympics. This tree doesn't even exist anymore. This whole thing is gone. Still, even with that story, I can't seem to find someone who will collect it. I show it anyway because it's a great conversation piece, and it helps me get people in conversation. But I'm probably going to replace the print with something new, and then I won't even show it. I'll just put something else in that frame, and I have a stack of prints, not these, but over there laying against the wall of pieces I haven't been able to sell, and there's no reason for me to show them because they're dead weight. So I follow my own advice here, and this piece isn't going to show anymore. Actually, that sun piece that I showed you, I have that right here. I was going to show you as well. It's pretty large. But I haven't been able to move that, and it's one of my favorite photographs. I really absolutely love this one. It's different, but no one will buy it. Orange, yellow, hard colors to sell. Talking about curation, okay? Orange, and well, I don't have a yellow, but yellow and orange are hard colors to decorate your home with. They don't really go with anything, okay? So when people see them, they're not going to be able to imagine them in your home. This piece looks great on your space, but people can't imagine it because of the color scheme. So if you have pictures that are orange, and you're, whatever you think it's a great sunset photo, it probably is, but it's not a piece of wall art. Okay, you have to start thinking in terms of home decoration, right? So orange and yellow. All right, so we have a booth, you've kept space, you have a cache for those of you who are trying to move your old pieces, and then you have a table. Okay, notice this table is small. Notice that I did not draw a place for you to sit. I did not draw a counter for you to sit behind. I did not draw a place for you to hide stuff, like behind this wall, okay? You need people to come in here. You don't need to be in here. You could stand over here. You're going to be in an art show for 5 days. You're going to stand for 5 days. You're going to work for 5 days. Okay? If you start putting things in here that don't allow people to walk in, then guess what? They're not going to walk in. Okay? So don't do it. Okay? If you want to have a chair and you want to, put it on the outside, just a chair. Okay? So what goes on the desk? Let's start with the fast one. Business cards. Useless, okay? I've never had a person contact me for my business card. I don't think it's ever happened. Yeah, I mean, I still have them, but I have them for a double purpose, okay? So here's my business card. Let's come on in here. It is upside down. All right, there's my business card. It's simple, it's nice to look at, it feels nice, but it's a conversation piece. And I use it to show people what my work looks like when it's printed. So here's, there's this picture from New York, here's my tree of fire, and then there's tree of fire in a home, okay? I use these as opportunities to speak to people. Almost made the same mistake twice. Okay, let's make it a little brighter. And then, I give them a card, they walk away happy, and I just lost 30 cents, right? The most important thing you can have on your table is, it says, is a guest book, okay? Now, I've been doing my guest books like so. I have the name and then the email/comment for them to write comments. But you know what, they're not going to, so I'm never gonna write this comment thing again. But you'll see there's all these notations here where I spoke to Wayne Marquette I remember this guy, I spoke to him for like a half hour. He used a lot of my time. He's interested in the ice cave, okay? So I wrote ice cave here so that I could follow up with him, okay? I've learned my lesson from Art Expo New York. Don't do this. Name, email, you talk to them, you remember them. As soon as they leave, go to the back of your book and write their name and email again with a note for a follow-up. This keeps this book really nice. And when you give someone your card, you say, hey, I have a mailing address, or can I follow up with you about this piece? And you can look at it at home or whatever. And you keep all your notes in the back and you keep them neat, okay? Really important to keep this clean so that it's inviting. Yeah, so this is really important because people aren't gonna call you from your cards. You're gonna need to follow up with your real prospects, okay? The other thing I have on my table is 2 or 3 of my catalogs, because I'm only showing a few works. I think I had 9 in the booth that I showed you, but I have 112 pieces in my catalog, in my portfolio. Again, self-curation. I've been taking pictures for 5 or 6 years. There's 100 pictures in here. Okay, that's it. And there's going to be less. I know already that I've removed this piece, and I've removed this piece and this piece from my portfolio because they're not different. I mean, this piece kind of is, but anybody could have taken these pictures. Maybe not that one, but anyone could have taken this picture. So why should I have it? What about it is special? Keep a person, looking. Okay. So anyway, so this is a catalog. I got it printed at blurb.com. Okay. This probably took me 60 hours to make. Right? It's full of my pictures like you've seen, but they're all laid out in a nice fashion. There are captions, available sizes, and they all say edition of 50. Okay. There's the new one. So this was a lot of work. There's templates out there to do this. Pick your poison on how you're going to accomplish it. But it costs me $29 a piece. $29 each. Okay. I don't sell these. I used to. I printed like 10 or 12 last time, and thinking that I was going to sell these to someone, but like 2 or 3 people bought them and it wasn't worth it. So I just have these, and when someone's interested in this piece, I say, very cool, that's great. They don't think it's the right color or something, and then you go take them to your catalog and say, hey, here's another piece, and it's similar, and here's another one. Hold on to this for a little bit, look at it, and then get back to me. Okay, don't walk away with it. It's expensive, but yeah, this is my catalog. If you make catalog with Adobe, with InDesign, and you upload it to Adobe online, then there's a digital version of this. And again, you can say, hey, glad you like my catalog. Please sign my mailing list, and I will send you a digital version of this so you can look at it later. Okay, and then they write their email down, and then you start following up. Follow-ups are your key to success. Okay, everything you don't sell here, you're going to sell in a follow-up. I think I spoke about this. I should mention it. So a good art fair for me is selling 1 or 2 pieces at the festival, and then selling follow-up pieces later. Okay. People need to go home. They need to see their work. They need to see their home. They need to consider, especially if your work, the price is going up. It's difficult to sell at an art fair because people don't go to art fairs to buy art. They go there because it's a weekend thing to do. There's great food. Food trucks make the most money. But if they find something, they're like, oh, okay, well, great. And they definitely don't go to art fairs to buy high-end art, which you may not be showing high-end art, but still, wall art is a tough sell. So, what else goes on your table, right? Actually, nothing else. There's no more room. You don't want to clutter your table, just like you don't want to clutter your walls. Okay. Let's talk about another thing. So you're sitting off to the side, and you have a clipboard with you, and this clipboard is something I hold almost normally for no reason. I never really need it, but inside I keep my square, to take payments, and I keep, this is something I just started doing, I have some paper receipts, if they want it, but I made a chart. This is a couch, this is how big this piece might be in your home. Just to give people an example of some scale for sharing the work, because they're going to say I have to go home and measure, and you're going to say, well, wait a second. Here's an example. Here's what a 60-inch looks like over a 100-inch couch. Okay, and you want to do your best to close the sale on the spot. Okay, people will say I'll go home and measure and come back, but they won't. I don't believe in be-backs. If they do come back, though, then it's a sale. So don't get your hopes up, but if you see them again, you better close that sale. Okay? So let's talk about the art booth more. If you're wise and you can afford it, you're going to do a 20-foot booth. Okay? Notice I've done this whole video once before, so I'm kind of getting lazy on my drawings. But my 20-foot booth had big piece like right here, and a second big piece, and then there was a divider actually that only went halfway out of the booth, and I had a piece laying against it, and then I had a long one here, go into perspective, and I had 3 pieces like this. Okay. You want your booth to be a gallery environment because you're a real artist, right? So you should put some sort of floor down, okay? I put carpet down. I have 2 layers of carpet because I've been accumulating carpet over the years, and it's softer to walk on. People walk into my booth after a day of walking around a giant art festival, and it's soft. They want to stay, okay? You can go to Home Depot, to the carpet section, and you'll find big reams of carpet down there, and they'll just pull it out and cut it for you. It's like 30 cents to maybe $1 per yard. It's really thin stuff, but the point is it changes the environment. They were outside, now they're inside. Okay, you don't want your artwork contrasting with concrete floors either. There's a bunch of reasons for that. It's ugly, but also, people need to imagine that's in their home. I've seen people with linoleum flooring that looks like hardwood, and that's really nice. It's just expensive and hard to move around. Okay, so carpet is a big deal. In my booth, there was a chair because there was space for it. I didn't sit there much. And there was a table over here that had this information on it. It might have been this table, it might have been a nice wood one that I have. Okay. Now, if you get a 20-foot booth and you have an outside, festival, it most likely will be, you're gonna have probably two 10-foot canopies, right? But it rains, so make sure you have a gutter, all right? You have to buy that separately. But I had a gutter, and we're in Washington, and last year it hailed, and the gutter couldn't handle it. I was at the art fair for like 3 hours just trying to manage the amount of water that was coming in. There was hail filling up, so water was spilling over. All my walls are carpet, and I couldn't have them get wet. So I was at the art fair inside my booth, all closed up on the inside, just trying to save the booth. The water filled up like 6 inches, because it was on the curb. It was really bad. So my point is, I learned this last time. You can get a cloth gutter, or one made of this tarp material, or you can go back to Home Depot and have a 10-foot length of real home gutter cut, and then drill holes in it and use wire ties to suspend it. And that thing is not going to bend. It's not going to warp and drop water out of the side, and things like that. So get a metal gutter. All right. And for that matter, if you boost overnight, you want the zip-on walls for it. Unless there's security at that place, take your artwork home, okay? And then set up again in the middle of the day. What else? Oh, so we have this space, and people are sitting around, they come in and they check out your work, and with each picture, I have a fairly large display for the price, sizes, and then story. Because you're going to an art festival and you have 10,000 people, if it's a small one, coming who just want to have a good time and see some cool stuff. And you don't want to field 1,000 questions about the same picture. Okay, so put something here for people to read. And then also on it, I put 25 minutes. Okay, also on it, I put an example of what the piece looks like in a home. Okay, so there's some prices. You can see how I do it. Custom sizes are available. Edition of 50 up here at the top corner. Sorry, and then you have this whole story. And I put this together in InDesign and then printed it, and I mounted it to foam core so that with a beveled edge. All right, very professional looking, big lettering, people can see it very well. And then I just put it next to each piece of art. All right, it takes a little bit of work to do this. There's some prep time. For those of you that have shows this weekend, you better hurry up. This one is mounted on foam core, so I had to take it to a framer who has a heat press and all that whatnot. But this one, I have them attached to each other because of the sticky thing, is laminated. So I got it printed, and I took it to Kinko's and laminated it. All right, then put the stickers in the back and put it up there. What else? If you're showing work like this and you don't have a piece to replace the one that you just sold, don't give this one away. Tell them you'll deliver it. They can pick it up after the show, or you'll deliver it, because you can sell more of edition of 10 or whatever. You can sell more. So if you get rid of it, if you send it home to someone, then you can't sell it again. Right? Most people won't have a problem with that. Let me think. So we went over setting up your booth. these walls, so I have walls from Pro Panels. ProPanels.com. Okay? Check it out. They're carpeted. There's styrofoam in between the carpet on both sides, so you can put hooks in. I don't recommend hooks. Okay? Hooks, you have heavy pieces of work, and they're gonna fall. They're gonna pull against the styrofoam, and eventually your heavy piece in the frame will fall and break, and then you'll be out of $900 like I was. So so no hooks. What you can get is no hooks that go into the walls. But what you can do is you can get a hook system. Here's your wall, and then the hook system hangs from the top and hangs a wire, and then you attach another hook on the end on the wire, and this is adjustable up and down to hang your work. Okay, this is what I recommend. A few extra bucks. All right, I don't think there is anything else. We talked about selling your cache of bad work, or not bad work, but work that's not sold. Use it to sell as a perk, okay? I said sell it as a gift, not for free. Okay, get the word free out of your vernacular, right? People will hear free, they expect free because you're an artist and therefore not really in business, so get the word free out of your vernacular. And what else? Tent, gutter. Make sure your space is open. All right, I'm repeating myself. I think that's good to go. Talk to you guys soon.